Hi everyone, my name is Nichole, and today I'm pleased to present the work that I work with me, Professor Jun, and Professor Miklas. And the topic of our paper is using artificial intelligence in ESG assurance. Basically, in this paper, we discuss how the AI technology could help to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the ESG assurance. And we think that the study could contribute to the current ESG literature by exploring the provision of the high-quality ESG assurance services, and it could also expand the broad application of AI. It also provides practical implications for the external users of the ESG reports, such as auditors, regulators, and stakeholders. And next, I would like to introduce the motivation of our paper. So we know that the sustainable growth of the economy has been a hot topic nowadays. And as we can see in this figure, there is a significant increase in the number of the companies reporting their ESG issues. And also there are not, although there are other channels that our investors could have access to the firm's ESG performance, like the annual reports, the ESG rating agencies, and the social media. But we think that this information are usually very limited and indirect. And the ESG report is still the main channel for the ESG communication. And however, there has long been a criticization on the credibility and the reliability of the ESG reports. And there are several reasons behind this. For example, there are no unified frameworks, no global governing body, and no specific regulatory guidelines to ensure the accuracy of the reported ESG data. And in this case, many companies have been accused of the greenwashing problem, which means that their ESG claims on the ESG issues are not followed or supported by their actual corporate activities. And one solution to alleviate this problem is to have the ESG report verified or shared. And according to the KPMG survey, and there are more and more companies nowadays worldwide to have their ESG report verified by the third parties. And although the trend of the sustainability assurance is going up, it's still in its early stage and is less well developed compared to the financial statement audit. And we think that the ESG assurance has its unique challenges due to the characteristics of the ESG information. For example, the assurance of the general ESG report normally will involve the examination of a very diverse subject matters. And the assurer has to have appropriate assurance techniques over not only the monetized information, but also both the quantitative and qualitative information. And next is that the financial reporting framework has the advantage associated with the double entry accounting, but most of the issues involved in the ESG report do not have this rigor. And at last, there are many textual information, or we can say the qualitative information in the ESG report, and it is very hard to verify just using the traditional audit techniques. So in this case, in our paper, we discuss how AI could help us elevate this problem and help us to improve the quality and the efficiency of the ESG assurance. And next, I would like to discuss that how will AI affect ESG assurance using a 3-layer paradigm. And the first layer is data layer. We can collect the data from these data sources for the measures of the ESG issues reported in the ESG report. For example, the carbon emission, greenhouse gas emission, diversity and inclusion, and so on. And in the technology layer, we listed a couple of technologies that we think could use in the ESG assurance, like the RPA, web crawler, voice recognition, text mining, and so on. And when we apply the technology layer to the data layer, we got the application layer. Specifically, we think we could make use of the RPA and web crawler and IoT to help us in the process of data collection, data standardization, and data storage. And when we use the text mining, machine learning technologies, it could help us in the data structure process and help us do some analysis like the environmental analysis, associative analysis, and so on. And with the help of all this technology, it could help us realize the continuous assurance help us build the assurance app and have a real-time risk alerts. And this figure depicts our concept of a continuous ESG assurance. We could say that with the help of the technologies, we could collect massive external data for the validation of the ESG report. And also when we are monitoring this monitoring this external data, we could continuously monitor the changes of the important metrics and set up the risk alerts. And we also, in this paper, we also provide 2 examples at how we could use the external data for the validation of the ESG report. The first example is a Glassdoor. So in this, we can see the left part is a review posted by a company's employee in the Glassdoor website. And we can see that in the review, the employee said that the company is discriminating and getting rid of women. And the right part, we could say that the management of the company made an assertion in their ESG report that they put a lot of effort in gender equity. So here rises the problem. So in practice, we think that we could collect all the reviews discussed about the gender equity and the user text mining technology to have assessment of the company's true performance on this issue and to provide us more evidence on in the ESG assurance. And another example is a website called Auditing Tracker. So this website provides a database of the up-to-date penalty cases, and we can say that they also categorize them by offense type, and we found many types related to ESG issues. For example, the environmental violation relates to our environment issue aspect, and the investor protection violation relates to the governance aspect, and also that consumer protection violation and wage and hour violation relate to the social aspect. So we think that this data set could help us evaluate the firm's ESG performance and the risk of the company that we assured. And next, we also discuss the application of the AI in a general like ESG assurance procedures, which contains 5 phases. And the first is that first phase is obtain engagement, and with the example of applicable techniques are the web crawler texture analysis and classification techniques. For example, we could use a web crawler to collect negative news of the client and feed in the system, and use a texture analysis to obtain the ESG related information from news articles and social media, and use the classification techniques to identify the ESG risks. And in the engagement planning phase, we could use a productivity.
You have 1 minute left.
Okay, thank you. To predict the time budget, taking the identified ESG risks in consideration. And also in the risk assessment process, we could use a person mining to verify proper internal control implementation. And in the substantive procedures, we could use a texture analysis to verify qualitative assertions using external data, as we example, and use a cluster analysis to group types of ESG information together and identify abnormal trends. And then in the reporting phase, we could use a predictive algorithm to identify contents that are interested by certain users and use an expert system to create continuously on ESG reports. And so basically, our paper proposed the use of AI technologies and external data to help improve the efficiency and the quality of ESG assurance. We see that AI could help us improve the reliability and transparency of the ESG reports through massive and external data assessment. And we also have some limitations on our paper. For example, we do not have the actual process of how we use the external data to provide validation. And we also do not make the cost-benefit analysis. And also there are other problems like the data privacy and essay problems. So basically that's this is our work, and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions and comments. Thank you so much.